Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and yes, we are live right here on YouTube for what is easily one of the most important days in the entire 3-year tenure of All Elite Wrestling. What, 4 years now, right? Actually, 4 years. Because it started in 2019, and I think Double or Nothing is their first show, if I'm not mistaken. So, 4-year tenure for this company, and today was a memorable one. More so off screen than on screen, but still, it's one of those things where you had to give credit where credit is due, even if you don't like All Elite Wrestling. Congratulations are in order. Tony Khan and company have landed a pretty big deal with Warner Brothers Discovery. So, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're going to be talking about, they did announce AEW Collision. We have been talking about that for what feels like months now. That secondary show that we all knew was going to be on Saturday, June 17th. They haven't announced Chicago yet, and we haven't gotten the official announcement of CM Punk, but all signs point to him returning on that show. If you've been following him on Instagram, he's done nothing but put his face more and more out there. He's still teasing that he's with AEW, although there is some drama surrounding him that we'll talk about. Whether it's his fault or not, it's there. And even he addressed it on his Instagram. It follows him wherever he goes, and he can't get rid of it. We'll definitely get into that. But we'll talk about Collision, what we've heard, the people that are going to be on Collision. And then, of course, we're getting to Dynamite, which I thought was a great show. I thought Dynamite was exactly what AEW needed to get some interest going for Double or Nothing. We got some matches announced. We're going to get more announced in the upcoming days, in the upcoming week or so, before the show next Sunday. Remember, it's next Sunday. So they had to get these matches on the card immediately. Although I won't say I'm annoyed, but kind of put off that we're taking this long to announce a card. You had months to build the Double or Nothing. We could have had this done. We could have had this set a few weeks before all this, but better late than never, right? As long as we know what the card looks like, I think we'll be okay. And up until now, the ticket sales for Double or Nothing have not been all that great. It's not like no tickets are selling, but when you compare it to Wembley Stadium, this would have already sold out. It's in a venue that only seats like 9,000. They could have sold that out way before tonight. But I think the reason why it hasn't sold out is because no one knew what was on the card until tonight. I think we got officially, 5 matches on the card? I might have to look at it real quickly. Maybe 4 or 5, and we're going to get more announced. Once we have that full card, I'm pretty sure, actually, after the matches announced tonight, I can already guarantee you those tickets will go very, very fast. But I don't know. When it comes to Las Vegas, I'm hearing the cost of living has gone way up over there. People who come in...
I'm tired of the back and forth with Punk. Is he coming back or not? If not, let him go to WWE. It shouldn't be this much a back and forth.
Let's relax, guys. He's coming back. He's coming back, I promise you. All reports have said that he is coming in. Nothing has indicated that he is leaving. There might have been some issues that we are not privy to, and some rumors that might be true. But all of that is currently being All that is currently being worked out, even if it is true. I don't think it is. I think there's something else going on that we don't know about. But yeah, even if the rumors are true about him and Ace Steel, the situation with him and Ace Steel, still that stuff can be worked out. That's not a problem. Getting back to what I was saying about Double or Nothing, I'm hearing the cost of living has gone up, hotel fees and all that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous in Las Vegas right now, and that is also hurting Double or Nothing. And when we talk about the show next week, because I'm going to do a preview and predictions broadcast about the show, I will mention the fact that I believe AEW should start looking for different locations in terms of All Out and Double or Nothing. I get that you want those pay-per-views to be traditional. You always want Las Vegas to have Double or Nothing. You always want Chicago to have All Out. I get that. I'm not hating on you for that, but if you're always going to be seeing a diminishing return every time you go back, it just feels like it's time to move on to a different location. Because check this out. I just looked at Forbidden Door 2 in Toronto. It sold out. So Wembley Stadium is selling big tickets. Toronto sold out for Forbidden Door. I think the problem here is that you keep going back to the same locations. And so therefore it doesn't feel as special. At least with All Out, you're going to be in the United Center. That's different. That's a different location for the pay-per-view. You know what I mean? So that's a completely different idea. Although we've done shows at the United Center, All Out is new. So I would really encourage Tony Khan and the people in charge, Will Washington, Mr. Will Washington, if you're watching this, I don't know if you are, but if you are, I would really encourage AEW to test out new markets for their pay-per-views. You can see it's doing wonders. It did wonders for Revolution. It's doing wonders for Wembley Stadium with All In. Full Gear usually does pretty well because it's always in a different market. If you're always going back to the same cities, in the same spots, in the same buildings, it starts to get a little boring. And it doesn't have the same the same freshness. You get me? It also helps that we would have a full card before then too, but I just think it's a diminishing return when you keep going back to the same buildings over and over. I understand when you're first starting out, that makes all the sense in the world. AEW, look here. If you still think AEW is not competition for WWE, you're living under a rock. You're lying to yourself. These deals that they are currently in negotiations with, the TV rights deals, we still don't have an amount yet. I think we will. We only got the announcement of Collision, which is why I don't think we got the official announcement of CM Punk yet. It is coming. Fightful Select, they've all reported that he's coming in, despite whatever drama you heard. And we'll talk about that drama. We will. We're going to address it. But Punk, by all means, is coming back. That's not changing. People might not like it. People might not want it. They might not like it. But he's coming back. Period. End of story. I just think they're waiting until they get the big announcement. The big official announcement. You get what I mean? So when that news drops, when we find out what the big massive deal is for All Elite Wrestling and Warner Brothers Discovery, or Max, that's what they're calling themselves. HBO Max is now Max. You know what I mean? But when we find out about that, we'll do a live, whether it's literally in the middle of the week, at night, we'll do one. And I'm very confident that we'll get some news on CM Punk very, very soon. I mean, Tony Khan literally said next week, so there you go. And I think the reason why I'm not that worried is because, well, number one, let me put this out there too. When he announced that Collision is coming, they didn't name a city. If they would have announced Chicago without CM Punk, then that might have been a, ooh, okay. But they're not even announcing the city yet. So that's something to really consider. I know people online are speculating that the reason why Tony Khan hasn't announced the city is because they're moving location. I don't know if that's a smart thing you can do, especially since it's already been this stuff gets scheduled like months in advance. I'm pretty sure they already bought out the building. I'm pretty sure the idea is to do CM Punk on the show. And again, this is a deal that's been negotiated with Warner Brothers Discovery. So it's not just Tony Khan and company. This is executives and Warner Brothers that want CM Punk back. So if this whole thing falls through, and it's not, but let's just talk about that. If this whole thing falls through, that's going to fuck up AEW's reputation. That's going to be a bad look of not just CM Punk, but AEW and Tony Khan. Because Warner Brothers, they said they want CM Punk. So, I don't know I had no idea what's getting ready to happen, but I am very curious to see how things turn out when it comes to this whole CM Punk stuff. But I'm going to be hopeful and just wait and see. I'm confident that everything will just turn out as reported, but who knows, man? Wrestling's a weird world. Wrestling is a weird world, and anything can happen. So, we're going to get right into it. We're going to pay these bills, do the shout-outs, do the sponsorship, and then we'll get into the announcement of Collision. We'll talk about the people showing up, my thoughts on it. We'll talk about CM Punk and all the drama, and then we'll get to Dynamite. This is probably going to be a long stream. I'm just letting you know right now, this one's going to be long. So if you're here for the long run, strap in. Get you some food, grab a snack, get you some water, get you a drink, and let's go ahead and get this thing started. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get to it. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, you're at it! Help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alex Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com. For business inquiries, just to say hi, and please get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt, get you a new school Alex's World t-shirt, but most importantly, get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie, America, the remix t-shirt made by J Knox and Firestar Heart. All of this down below in the description box. And today's sponsor is Audible. If you're looking for ways to go on the go and listening both work, to audiobooks, whether you're on the plane, whether you're going for a walk, or whether you're just chilling inside your room. You want Audible, and I can get you a free trial right now of Audible. 1 month free trial. And during that free trial, you can just get you whatever book you want, whatever podcast, audiobook, wrestling audiobook, John Moxley, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, and others. It's yours to keep. If you order this book during that 1 month, it is yours to keep even when your trial expires. So how's about we get a quick word from our sponsor? And then, of course, we'll get to some shout-outs. Today's video is sponsored by Audible. Audible is the leading provider of audiobooks. They have over 180,000 audiobooks to choose from, including books written by wrestling legends like Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, Bryan Danielson, Drew McIntyre, and Jim Ross. Today, if you visit www.audibletrial.com, just Alex, you can get 1 free audiobook of your choosing. Audible is the best place for audiobooks, and I cannot recommend it enough. In my time, I've listened to Chris Jericho's The Best in the World and Bryan Danielson's Yes books, both narrated by them personally. And here's the best part. Even if your membership wears out or you just aren't satisfied with the product, you can cancel your free trial at any time, and your audiobooks are yours to keep. So again, go to audibletrial.com, just Alex, and begin your journey today. All right, thank you all so much for joining me. As always, please show some love to the moderators: Ultra, Shawn Nice, and Firestar Heart, Alyx, Demi, New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl, Cleo does everything, of course, and of course, Big MGM. They help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you. And please, if you guys would be so kind as to hit that like button. It is imperative that you like the video, because the more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So if you help the channel grow, we'll get more people in the live chat, and of course we'll get more interaction. So help boost the algorithm by hitting that like button. I think we already got the first super chat, but let me go ahead and turn them on in case we get more. We're just gonna get right to the shout outs, man. I'm seeing a lot of people tell me that Billy Graham, superstar Billy Graham, passed away. That is sad. I did hear he was hospitalized. And that's one of those people, I gotta be real with you. He was before my time. A lot of people say that before there was Hulk Hogan, there was superstar Billy Graham. He had that charisma that Hulk Hogan basically borrowed from. A lot of Dusty Rhodes' traits came from superstar Billy Graham. So he impacted a lot of my legends, my favorite legends growing up. And that's a big deal, man. So definitely a pioneer for professional wrestling. I just cannot speak for him simply because he was before my time. So, hey, rest in peace. Condolences to his family, and hopefully things turn out pretty okay for their sake. All right, let's get to the shout outs. Thank you to the following people for being here. We got the Tribal Chief, Oscar O.B. the God Grizzly. That's a big ass name. And I think you're new. Thank you for being here, Oscar. He says, I remember people still saying the Elite was the problem for refusing to work with Punk. Yeah, all right. We'll have to hold our horses on the CM Punk situation. A lot of people are just assuming what they're reading is true. Even if it is true, it doesn't mean he's not coming back. So we'll have to get into that in just a second. Flubba, Dulcie Chatham, Enrique Hernandez, Showtime Dodgers fans. Good to have you guys here. Let me go. Producer Bossy. Haven't seen you in a while, Mr. Producer Bossy. Daniel Eves, Nintendo Porn Company Conspiracy. David Robert Wood, Minako 42, Ashley Greer Crowder, Jamarcus Williams, The Cerebral Assassin, Christopher Carter, Shaq. What's going on? What's going on, Shaq? Who is the man who could jam overhead, man? Shaq. DMD. The Mexico. Vinnie Mac. Oh, Lord. That's right. Vinnie Mac. That's exactly who you think it is. He here. He be showing up for all my shows. I know. When you gonna retire, Vinnie Mac? When you gonna leave us alone, man? Damn. Project Sunty. JJ, who let the dogs out? Who. In his house, JJ Bulldog. Wrestle Spider. Wrestle Spider. Wrestle Spider. Yeah. Okay. Phantasmo. The Powerbomb Project. And the last one's going to go to Lauren Biggs. Thank you all so much for being here. If I don't say your name, please don't be offended. It's not because I hate you. Apparently, Producer Bossy says he's been training at AAPW in Austin. All right. Well, I look forward to seeing your work. See if you can get your butt to AEW. Be very nice, man. All right, guys. Let's pause these super chats and get right to the news. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a long show. And I mean that. We got a lot to cover. So I hope you guys are prepared. Before I do get to the actual show, I want to make this announcement here before I forget. Once again, next weekend, not this weekend, but actually the weekend of Double or Nothing, and the same day as Night of Champions, your boy is going to be at Comic Palooza here in Houston as an influencer. So if you're planning on coming to Comic Palooza, come check me out, man. I'm just going to be around. I plan on showing up both days, Friday and Saturday. Now, Lita, I think, is going to be there on Friday. So I hope I can get an interview with her on Friday. And then McFoley is showing up on Saturday. So I'm excited about both of them. That's going to be a big deal for your boy. And if I can squeeze in time to interview them, I'm going to take it. Even if it's just 30 minutes. If that. If it's 15, cool. It's fine with me. But it's going to be a pleasure to interview both of these people and to be able to talk to them about wrestling and their careers. Quite frankly, it's just going to be a conversation. That's all it needs to be, right? So I'm excited about that. Hopefully I can make it happen. But once again, Comic Palooza next Saturday. I'm excited about that. All right, we got that in. Let me go ahead and get right to it. So you already know what we got. Start off with first, one of the biggest announcements all year. AEW is bringing in another show. And that show is AEW Saturday Night Collision. Listen, the WCW Nitro colors are not lost on me. Yes, those are the old school WCW Nitro colors. It's cool. I think that was deliberately done, by the way. That was done on purpose. But I like it. Hey, man. I ain't hating on it, are you? I hope not. Great stuff, man. Says here, TNT launches a second night of wrestling with AEW Collision, featuring headliners Thunder, Rosa, Miro, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Andrade El Idolo. And you're noticing a name is missing, but we'll get to that guy in a second. Right off the bat, they already announced that all championships will be able to attend both shows, Dynamite and, of course, Collision. However, and this is coming from Fightful Select, the plan is to do a hard brand split. Certain superstars, wrestlers, will be exclusive. I can't believe I just said superstars on an AEW show. Certain wrestlers, and the reason I said superstars is because when I think brand split, I think WWE. But certain wrestlers will be exclusive to Collision and then Dynamite. Look, just to get it out of the way, an argument could be made that a brand split is good for AEW. Right now, if you're going to be dealing with, 7 hours of television a week, and that's including Ring of Honor. If you take out Ring of Honor, that's 5 hours. That's still a lot, by the way. Still a lot. But if you're going to be dealing with 2 hours of Dynamite, 2 hours of Ring of Honor, an hour of Rampage, and then 2 hours of Collision, God, that is a lot. I think it will make things easier on the booking team if they have a set of people for each roster. And it's not going to be like a big announcement where it's just like, all right, here are the wrestlers on Collision, here are the wrestlers on Dynamite. They're not going to do like that kind of a draft kind of thing. No, it's just certain wrestlers will be exclusive to these shows because they're not getting enough TV time on Dynamite. And you know what? For the roster AEW has, I would completely understand why they would want to do a brand split. And again, not saying it can't work, not even saying that it's a bad idea. But I will say I don't like it. I don't like it. And here's why I don't like it. By getting that 2 hours on Saturday, just getting an extra 2 hours, you don't really need to do anything else. That's all you needed. One of the issues that we've all said about AEW is their lack of featuring talent enough. You got this big-ass roster of amazing talent, and they're not getting enough TV time because you only got 3 hours each week. And it sucks. It wasn't in their control to do anything about that, but that still sucks. So you had to do a better job of roster rotation. Well, the roster rotation gets a lot easier now when you have an extra 2 hours. Now you can be more flexible with who goes where, especially if you're going to have a primetime slot on Saturday. Here's my issue with this idea of a brand split. What you're doing here when you do a brand split is that you limit yourselves. You limit yourselves creatively when you want to do different feuds, when you want to do fresh new feuds. See, everything is cool now because when you split up the roster and you start working with the people on those shows, that's great. The problem comes when you've run out of things to do with the same people on those shows, and now you need to start having them face other people that are new and fresh, but they can't because the people who are new and fresh are now on Dynamite, and they can't interact with people on Dynamite if you're on Collision, and vice versa, unless you're a champion. You see where I'm going with this? Even though the champions have flexibility, which is great, although I don't understand why you wouldn't. See, my thing about this is, if you're going to do a brand split, do a brand split. Like, have the TBS Women's Championship exclusive to TBS on Dynamite, and then have the Women's Championship exclusive to Collision, right? I mean, if you're going to do a brand split, do a brand split. But that also means you have to get... Well, think about it this way. They do have 2 sets of tag team titles. They have the Trios Championships, and that's going to be on Collision, and then the regular tag team titles on Dynamite, right? And then the TNT title can be the main title for Collision, while the World title can be the main title for Dynamite. But again, those titles can actually... The World title can go back and forth. The TNT title should be exclusive for the TNT show. Like, there are certain titles you can make exclusive. So my thing is, if you're going to do a brand split, then that's how it should go. But if the titles can just go back and forth between the shows, I then have to question again, why are we actually doing a brand split? People are going to tell me, well, it's to give these talents more TV time. They already got more TV time. They don't need to do a brand split. The only reason I see them doing a brand split, honestly, is because there are certain talent that don't get along. Andrade and Sammy. Sammy will probably be on Dynamite. Andrade will be on Collision. So they can't work together. We keep them apart. Eddie Kingston will probably be on Collision because he doesn't get along with a lot of the roster. But he gets along, apparently, with a lot of other people. Although, I don't know. I can see Eddie being a Dynamite exclusive, though. But yeah, Eddie hasn't been getting any kind of TV time. He needs to be on TV a lot more. That's someone else who used to be on TV. Of course, we already know CM Punk and the Elite. That's the big one. And then we got Thunder Rosa and the women's roster. So it's discouraging. It's very discouraging when you think about the real reason that we're doing this brand split. It's not because, well, we need to give these shows exclusivity. Some exclusive feel. I think I said it right. Exclusivity, right? Exclusivity. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right anymore. Whatever. Giving them an exclusive feel, an exclusive roster. But I don't know how I feel about that. Because now, if you're a fan of CM Punk and Dynamite comes to Houston, I'm not going to be as inclined to want to buy those tickets. Because I know CM Punk is not going to be on the show and he only appears on Collision. Does that make sense? And the biggest thing I have an issue with here when it comes to Collision is that time slot. Saturday. I don't know about that one, Chief. Saturday? Like, if you did Saturday at 3, like 3 p.m. to 5, perfect. Like, if they did it on like a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday morning, perfect. I'm there. I love that. Matter of fact, I don't know why they're not doing it on a Saturday afternoon. They're doing it on a Saturday night from 7 to 9. What do you think? Like, there are so many things they're going to be competing against. Because when you really think about it. Saturday night, you got UFC, you got WWE, you got basketball, you got football, Saturday Night Football. You got, what else? I think you got soccer, same thing. You got other events that happen on Saturday night. And there's this other thing that we're not talking about, is that people go out on Saturday night. Like me. Yeah, when it's Saturday night, that's a me day. I'm going out to clubs, to bars, I'm hanging out with my friends, we going out to big events, we partying. But yeah, it gets to a point with me where I look at the show and I get excited, but then when you think about long-term what this will mean, you start to get a little depressed because I'm sorry, like they're not gonna bump the NBA for AEW Collision. They're not gonna bump Saturday Night Football You get me? There are going to be some times where the show will have to get moved around. They even said, I think I saw a report where there are going to be some Saturdays where it's not live. Like, what are we doing? To me, if it becomes a problem where you can't go consistently live, that's a terrible time slot. So, I personally do not understand why they don't just do it, I don't know, at 3 p.m. Like, I remember when wrestling was on, and when wrestling was on Saturdays, was it ever in the primetime slot? Or was it like Saturday morning wrestling? Like Saturday morning cartoons? I always thought it was Saturday morning wrestling. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think Saturday's a good day. I didn't think Friday night was a good day either. Maybe Saturday's better than Friday, that's for sure, but man, I don't know. Like, if it was up to me, Collision would just be on Thursdays. Why not? I would put it on Thursdays. At the very least, if you're gonna put it on Saturdays, I would move it up. 3 p.m. to 5? Let me ask you guys something. This is real talk. If you're not working, some of you might be working, but even if you are working on Saturdays, would you rather the show be on at 3 p.m., and this is Central Time, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central, which is 4 to 6 if you're in Eastern, or 7 to 9? Or, some people even said, what about 10 to 12? Well, that's late Saturday night. That's even worse. Now, if you're going to have it on Saturdays, I would do 3 to 5. Quite frankly. But we're not doing it. Can't complain about it. They're going to be doing 3 to 5 eventually because they're going to get bumped. So they're going to have to start recording or pre-taping the shows before it happens. And that sucks. But regardless, hey, we got 2 hours. More people are going to get more TV time. The people that you have missed, like Andrade, like Miro, like Samoa Joe, like Thunder Rosa, and like CM Punk, you're going to be seeing a lot more. So, some things that bother me, but, you know, it is one of those things where maybe over time it will be better for everybody. You know? Let's see what happens. Hopefully things turn out to be pretty good. What do y'all think? Like, let me get your thoughts. Like, where is your head at when it comes to AEW Collision? You never know. You never know how things might turn out. Everything could end up being pretty good when it's all said and done. Although, this drama with CM Punk, I don't know if it's something that I can say is good overall for everyone involved, but it's good content for me, that's for sure. Oh boy, where do we even start? Where do we even start? Okay, let's just start from the big one. So, as you guys know, CM Punk was not in the lineup for Collision. He wasn't. When they announced the names, everyone expected one name to be announced, CM Punk. Why? Because it was reported he would be announced. Warner Brothers Discovery came out and said, we want CM Punk on that Saturday show in Chicago on June 17th. That was the report going around. That is still the case. Nothing has changed. There was a company email, whether it was a Warner Brothers Discovery email or an AEW email, but eternally, there was an email about the lineup about when it comes to AEW Collision, and CM Punk was on there. So he's still scheduled for the show, but there might be some things that we're not privy to that's stopping this announcement from just happening, because I would think, like, let's just get this out the way now, right? So, exactly what's going on here? What happened? Why did CM Punk not get announced? Is it because something fell through? There was some drama and he threw a hissy fit again, and now people are just like, we don't know if we want to bring Punk back, right? I don't think that's the case. That being said, we have a lot to talk about. So, there was a report by PWI Insider, and we're going to get right to this one. In this report, a rumor, and this is reported from a very credible source. And again, I trust Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson would not be talking about this if it wasn't true. So, let's just go right here to Drainmaker on Twitter, who took the report and put it out for everybody. But here's the report from PWI Insider. It says it right here. Why CM Punk was pulled from AEW Collision's announcement. And it says here, for those who have asked what happened that CM Punk was not announced for AEW Collision today, the rumor, so big word, rumor, making the rounds is that Punk and AEW are again at odds currently. Now over the status of the return of Ace Steel. Ace Steel is the one that bit Kenny Omega's arm during the all-out brawl after the media scrum last year. And asking around, there appears to be something to that situation. The belief among those we've spoken with is that Steel was expected to return in conjunction with Punk next month, working behind the scenes. Let me get to part 2 here. However, the story making the way around AEW backstage today at Dynamite is that a decision was made that Steel would not be working backstage at the actual Collision tapings. And Fightful Select added to this, he was going to be working remotely. He wasn't going to be there physically. He was going to be working there remotely. As you might imagine, that left Punk and AEW on opposite sides of the discussion, which in turn led to Punk being removed from all promotional material released for the AEW Collision series today. One person believed MJF replaced Punk in the promotional graphic, which is actually not true. He didn't. But we haven't been able to confirm that with multiple sources. Actually, that's not true. It's still Punk. They just haven't released that main one yet. We do know that Impact Wrestling sources noted today that they had interest in bringing in Ace Steel for a tryout. When the invitation was passed on several weeks ago, their belief was that meant he was AEW or WWE bound. So the timing fits in that a return was on the table for Ace Steel. So that's the report from PW Insider. This idea that Punk was coming back, but he wanted to come back with Ace Steel. Now, him and Ace Steel are friends. They're buddies. They're almost soulmates. A lot of who Punk is attributed to Ace Steel. So that father figure, I can understand why Punk would fight for him. Here's why I have a hang up with all this, and I have Fightful Select's report that backs me up. This is a huge deal. This isn't just some rinky-dink sponsorship that they can get with at any time. This is Warner Brothers Discovery. You hear me? Warner Brothers Discovery went out of their way to make this deal with AEW because they see them as a prominent fixture of the entire promotion, the entire brand. So I would think, of all people, CM Punk understands that, and he wouldn't let Ace Steel, his relationship with Ace Steel, fuck that up. I would think that even though Ace Steel isn't going to be there physically, because he's still going to be working there remotely, he's just not going to be there physically, I would think that wouldn't be the reason why CM Punk would leave AEW. Right? I would think, of all things, that's going to be the reason that this whole thing falls apart? Ace Steel? I don't know, man. That just seems extremely self-sabotaging. It feels like a self-sabotage. If that's the case. You get what I'm saying? Like, that feels like someone that is determined to fuck up everything he's involved in. And I do not, and I cannot see CM Punk in that light. Yes, he can be hard to work with. Yes, he can be a prima donna like a lot of wrestlers. You don't think Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, The Rock, and all of them weren't prima donnas at some point? CM Punk comes from that era of wrestling. So yeah, he can be a prima donna, but I don't think he's an idiot. He understands that at the end of the day, it's about the fans, right? And when your petty drama starts to fuck with the fans, starts to interfere with the fans' enjoyment, that's when it's going too far. So I don't know what this situation is looking at. I don't know what the situation is looking like. But if it is one of those things where Ace Steel is a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a contingency. He's becoming a reason why this whole deal is falling through. I'm just gonna lose respect for everybody involved, even CM Punk. Yeah, let's not fuck up this deal with AEW and Warner Brothers over Ace Steel. But looking at this Fightful Select report, I mean, honestly, yeah, it says here Fightful has learned that during the meeting between Chris Jericho and CM Punk, that Jericho mentioned the possibility of Ace Steel returning to the company in some capacity, with the belief that people working together in harmony could alleviate some tensions and show that everyone was willing to do business. I mean, I thought that would be the reason he was going to come back, because it creates the image that AEW is willing to do business when it's necessary, right? Says here, Fightful was told that there was a meeting this week between AEW and CM Punk, and it was extended to Punk that Steel would have the ability to be with the company and work directly with Punk. However, it was made clear that Steel would be able to work remotely, but not be able to be at AEW television. So that's the contingency there. That's the hang up. That he's able to work. He's able to work with Punk, but he can't be at the building. Again, it's one of those things where it's like, so he's able to work with Punk. Okay, what's the problem? Why does he have to be there? Does he have to be there? And Fightful Select says, we haven't learned specifically how Punk reacted to this, outside of him not being in agreement with it. He didn't like it, but they're not saying that's the reason why he was not announced. And matter of fact, that's what they said here with Fightful Select. Fightful Select says, we have not been told if this is tied to Punk not being featured on the WBD materials, or the statement that they made about him not being associated with the brand. Because, of course, Warner Brothers Discovery did come out and say that CM Punk is not associated with AEW Collision. But here's the thing. Check this out. There are still plans for CM Punk to be on Collision. Right there. Fightful Select's report. Nothing has changed. He still is going to be, the show on June 17th is still going to be in Chicago. He's still going to be there. Nothing has changed. So, I don't know exactly what else to tell y'all other than let's see what happens. This is really a wait and see situation. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. I do not think this is something fans should be worried about. That's all I'm going to say about it. I understand that people have every right to just be like, ugh, I don't know if this is a good thing, because this could mean that CM Punk is gone. But at the same time, I think all indications, all fingers are pointing to the fact that whatever's going on, it's not going to be a hindrance. You're going to get Punk. Punk is coming back. It has to. It has to go that way. Otherwise, this would be a much bigger fallout. It wouldn't just be CM Punk and AEW. It would be AEW and Warner Brothers Discovery. You hear me? Because CM Punk is a valuable, valuable commodity. And if Warner Brothers want CM Punk, and they go out of their way to make a deal that includes CM Punk, and then AEW says we can't give you CM Punk, what do you think the reaction is going to be from Warner Brothers? Oh, you can't give us what we want? That's not good. That's not good. And it's not going to be good. So, I think when it's all said and done, things will be okay. Now, if the drama stopped there, we would be good. But it didn't stop there. No. It never just stops there with CM Punk. Come on. Y'all know who this man is. Y'all really thought that was going to be the end of it? Ha 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 ha. Ha ha, I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha. That's an easy reference. That is the easiest. If y'all don't know what that reference is, we can definitely not be friends. So, come with me to Twitter. We're not done yet. You thought we were done? Ha ha. Brian Alvarez, ladies and gentlemen, addressed the CM Punk situation. And let's just say, this is the equivalent of taking a tank of gasoline and pouring it into a furnace. You already got the fire. It's already blazing. Now we're just going to take a tank of gasoline and just toss it in there. CM Punk was all over Wrestling Observer. For better or worse, they could not shut up about him. And there was a backlash because of it. So let's hear what Brian had to say. Then we're going to see the backlash from CM Punk. And let me make this bigger. Let's make that a little bit smaller, actually. Let me do this. By the way, please go follow Dre Maker, who's doing an excellent job putting this out there. I like promoting people that do the heavy work for me. But here we go. Mr. Brian Alvarez from Wrestling Observer.
CM Punk is not on the poster. Not on there. Now, that could mean two things. It could mean that he got really mad and doesn't want to be a part of this anymore for some reason. No, this could be one of the reasons.
Oh, anything could be a reason. Can I just give the reason?
Hold on. Or that's going to be the big announcement tonight.
Hey!
That CM Punk is part of Collision.
And that wasn't the big announcement tonight. That announcement is coming next week, apparently. But still, it still applies. That could be the announcement next week.
People acting like they cracked a code because his name was taken out of the release. It's like, in theory, none of this, you're not supposed to know any of this. That is supposed to be the big announcement. They got to announce Chicago, and they have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's silly.
Well, here's the thing, Mike.
The Earth could collide into the sun before 8 o'clock, and it doesn't happen.
I know a lot about this, okay? He has gotten mad about various things many times. And it has been a tightrope walk with CM Punk. There were graphics with CM Punk on the graphic. Now there are graphics without CM Punk on the graphic. So it is not impossible that this deal with CM Punk has fallen through. It is not impossible. He might be announced tonight. That might be the big announcement. But I'll put it this way. It is not impossible that we do this show tomorrow and there was no announcement whatsoever of CM. That is not impossible. Okay? I can tell you that for a fact. It is not impossible.
Well, again, even if there wasn't going to be an announcement, everyone knows he's going to be there. And again, they pushed it to next week. Maybe again, like the whole Ace Steel thing might be real, and that's part of the reason why they pushed it. Or it could be for a different reason. They probably wanted him to have his own press release. Because to me, like, that is a big, big deal. When you announce that CM Punk is returning, that's a huge deal. And I can imagine Tony Khan going, "Oh, you know what? Let me announce Collision this week and then announce Punk next week." So, Brian Alvarez put that out there, and of course, he had some controversy takes come his way. As you could imagine, it's like, of course, Brian Alvarez, of course he thinks this whole thing's falling through. Look, I respect Brian Alvarez. I respect him and Dave Meltzer. I do think they have a bit of a grudge against Punk. It is clear as day they're pissed off at him for what he did during the scrum, not just because of him ranting on the Elite, but also calling them out and him insulting Dave and saying Dave is a stooge, whatever the hell, or he's a geek or whatever. He insulted Dave, and they took it personally. If anything else, probably CM Punk should have a sit down talk with also Brian and Dave along with the Elite, because every time I hear Punk mentioned by Brian Alvarez and or Dave, it's never in a good light. Well, it's not going to be in a good light anytime soon, because CM Punk decided, I'm going to respond to this SOB in a post on Instagram. And this one is not deleted, by the way. This is still up. You can go to his Instagram story and actually look at it right now. Oh, God, here's what he had to say. Look, everyone, Brian Alvarez doesn't like it when misinformed internet trolls make up rumors about him, so please stop making up rumors and stories for clicks while Brian makes up rumors and stories for clicks, okay? He's married, for God's sake. By God, that man has a family! Brian Alvarez, shut the fuck up. Brian Alvarez, shut the fuck up and stop talking about me. Challenge day 1. Punk don't give a fuck. He don't care. And he's not done. Once you get Punk going, he doesn't stop. This is what people need to understand. Punk doesn't start shit. And I always say this. This is something I stand by. Punk never starts shit. He has never started drama with anybody. But once you get him involved, once you start shit with him, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop until he has eviscerated you. Once you start drama with CM Punk, it is war. For better or worse, it is war when you start drama with CM Punk. He continues, friendly reminder, I haven't been on TV in 9 months and y'all still can't stop talking about me. Maybe stop? You'll feel better. Love, hate, it's all the same. I don't enjoy being the sole person that props up entire misinformed clickbait industry based on toxic gossip from lying sources. But what can you do? When you're the king, it comes with the crown. And then, you thought we were done. Oh, we're not done. And then CM Punk said, with a little bit of cherry on top, I'm going to put out an actual short on my Instagram story. So let's see what Mr. CM Punk, I don't want it to be that big. Let me do this. That's better. Let's see what Mr. CM Punk had to say on his Instagram story. Here we go.
One more before I go really quick. The parasocial relationship a lot of fringe wrestling fans have with certain people is really unhealthy. I get the tribalism, like it's fun to root for your team, but picking sides seems a little silly. You don't know me, you don't know anybody else, so, just go touch grass. One more before I go really.
I mean, folks, where's the lie? Where's the lie? He's speaking facts. And, I'll point the finger right at me. I'm guilty of this too. More so me taking sides with CM Punk and not really, being fair. But you're right, when it comes down to it, when it comes to CM Punk, when it comes to the Elite, when it comes to everyone involved, Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez, when it comes to all this drama, we as fans are just fans. We're the guys, we're the people looking inward from the outside. We weren't involved in any of this. So he's right. And clearly this is a shot at Brian Alvarez. But when you think about it, this kind of applies to everyone involved, even us. We really don't know who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Our main concern should be, all right, are we going to get the best wrestling product? Period. That's it. That's what we should be caring about. Now, it is my job to care about this stuff and to give it to you. That's my job. And I'm going to keep doing my job. But outside of me doing my job, I can understand 1000% why CM Punk is of the mindset of, why the fuck do y'all give a fuck about any of this? Who cares? Just tune in to me when I come back for wrestling. Alright? That's it. Just tune in to me when I'm coming back for wrestling. The tribalism bullshit, it's not necessary. You know, it's fun to root for your own side, but when you choose a side and you stand by your side and completely ignore the other side and deem them wrong, you know, it gets kind of ridiculous. Like, the tribalism, especially for AEW, is, oh my god, is it bad? Now, WWE has some tribalism too. Jesus Christ. Let's not get started on WWE. But AEW is really bad. It's actually kind of sad how bad it is with AEW. Whether it's between the Elite and CM Punk, whether it's between just WWE and AEW, whether it's between whatever. You know, it's just like, who cares? Who cares? But yeah, it is kind of crazy that Punk over here speaking facts. Speaking facts. And if anything else, that video, and if you go to his Instagram and you look at his Instagram stories, that should be an indication that if he's putting his face out there more, he's coming back. He'll be back. The problem is, when he comes back, will he bring all this drama with him? And I think that's the issue people are having with. I don't think it's an issue that CM Punk is coming back or not. I think it's more along the lines of, is it worth it? Is it worth dealing with this drama? I think at the end of the day, AEW needs Punk, and Punk needs AEW. So whatever little issue is going on, whether the A-Steel crap is an actual thing, whether it's some shit between the Elite and CM Punk, whether it's some shit between him and Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer, whatever it is, work it out. Work it out. Sit down, have a conversation, and work it out. That's all I gotta say. That was a lot. I told y'all. We haven't even gotten to Dynamite yet. But that was a lot for CM Punk. That's the entire CM Punk situation. What do y'all think? Where's your head at when it comes to CM Punk? Do you still think that he's coming back? Or do you think this is a good indication that it's time for us to please be done with him? I think the people who don't want Punk back will use this as a reason to be like, we can't have him back. He's toxic. And the ones who do want him back, how you doing? Will be like, well, comes with the territory. Comes with the territory, apparently. But yeah, give me your thoughts about that real quickly.
We can dance if you want, get it crackin' if you like. Must be a full moon, 'cause I one of those nights.
Not only are they competing against a WWE PLE once a month, but TK also chose to split talent that can't get along rather than be a real leader and tell them, hey, I am paying you money, do your job.
That's what they need. The talent that are working under Tony needs someone to go in there, put their foot down, and be like, stop being fucking prima donnas and get your shit together. We're paying you all this money to go out there and do what you're doing in front of a big audience. We're getting you all these deals. We're growing a fan base. We're growing a fan base and growing a company where you can do what you need to do, performing all in front of all these people, and you're fumbling your bag over some high school bullshit. Get your shit together. That's what they need. I don't know if that's who Tony is, but that's what they need. He's got to be a boss. Simple as that. But we talked about Collision. We talked about Punk. Now we can finally talk about Dynamite. Oh, God. I told y'all. This is probably going to be one of the longest streams, but I will say, when it comes to Dynamite, this was a great show. Austin, Texas. Anytime you come to Texas, it's always fire. Always fire. Hashtag always fire. Great crowd in Austin, Texas. Moody Center. I think it was sold out. It was a sold out crowd, actually. That was pretty good. The wrestling was great. Lots of great matches on here. Just gonna run through the matches really, really quickly. I really enjoyed Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy taking on The Firm. Big Bill, who's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. And Lee Moriarty are a tag team now. The Firm apparently is done, since they were firmly deleted. Sorry, firm deletion. Hardy Boys took them. Regardless, they're supposed to be done. So Big Bill and Lee Moriarty are just a tag team now. But the match was great. Big Bill's a great wrestler. He's always been a great performer, even with Enzo. And he worked very well with Darby and Orange Cassidy. Got to toss them around. And yeah, that was a very fun opening match. Well, it wasn't even an opener, because the opener was that segment between Wardlow and Christian, which we'll talk about later. Sammy Guevara beat some guy named Exodus Prime. Exodus Prime. Is that like similar to Optimus Prime? Optimus, Exodus? Hilarious. But yeah, Sammy beat him. Warm-up match for his main event. Got a chance to talk on the microphone. And we'll talk about what happened with him later. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, took on... Dr. Britt Baker and Hikaru Shida took on the Outcasts. It was supposed to be a triple threat match involving our girl, Jamie Hayter, but unfortunately, Jamie's injured. Legitimately injured. They even said the reason why she's off is because she got hurt real badly from a drop kick to the steel steps. And Vital Select said she's going to be off TV for a little bit. She's not so injured that she can't perform, because they said she's going to be at Double or Nothing next Sunday. But they just said, all right, she's a little banged up. Let's not have her wrestle tonight. Fair enough. It got the storyline across very well, because Ruby and Toni Storm did beat Britt and Hikaru Shida, in a way that heels can do it, cheating, using that can of spray in the face and pinning them 1, 2, 3. And then that earned Toni Storm a match against Jamie Hayter next week. Can't hate on that. I loved the Falls Count Anywhere match between Roderick Strong and Chris Jericho. Phenomenal match. And I love that there was a big story with Chris Jericho not allowing Adam Cole to come into the AEW arena because he got a lawsuit on him. And so for Adam Cole to get his hands on Chris Jericho will have to go outside the arena, which I thought was smart. I like that. But despite that, the match was great. Lots of chops, lots of stiffness. Roderick Strong works very well. Roderick Strong works extremely well in AEW. He comes across like a big deal. And I like that. This match was great. They went all over the arena. It was Falls Count Anywhere, so they can go to the crowd, they can go backstage, they can go to the concession stands, they can go to the stairs. They went all over the place. They went outside, and then when they went outside, Adam Cole attacked Chris Jericho, hit him with the boom. He dropped the boom, and then Roderick Strong got the pin, 1, 2, 3. So more hype for Chris Jericho versus Adam Cole, which hasn't been announced yet, but will be announced soon. Excited about that. Jungle Boy Jack Perry had an awesome match with Roosh. Holy crap, this match was great. Roosh is underrated. Look here. I know when we think about Roosh, we think about Andrade. Roosh is a badass. Roosh is awesome. If they ever wanted to start pushing him as like a main eventer, I'd be all for it. He's amazing. But this match between him and Jungle Boy, holy shit. This was fucking great. And Jungle Boy, he got busted open, took some stiff bumps. A freaking, what was it? A belly-to-belly throw to the outside. Oh, it looked like he almost landed on his head. It was fucking crazy. But Jungle Boy did get the pin with the schoolboy pin. He had to grab the tights. He had to beat him by grabbing the tights, because he was giving him that much of a hard time, right? And then, of course, the final match was Switchblade Jay White taking on Absolute Ricky Starks. Lots of heat with this match. Lots of drama going into this. And it's clearly building to a future match, because you had Juice Robinson interfering here and there. And then Ricky Starks just got tired of the bullshit and just started hitting both of them with a steel chair. And then he lost the match by DQ. So that's going to continue the feud. Ricky Starks lost the match by DQ. and Jay White won by getting inside his head. Nice little storytelling to advance the feud. I'm liking it. I actually thought the match was very, very good. It might not even be good, might be great. Might have to go back and watch it. But yeah, Ricky Starks and Jay White have great chemistry. I was watching this match going, okay, I'm feeling this. This is good. I like this better than Juice Robinson and Ricky. But yeah, like I'm excited about that feud. So let's talk about the stories we got on this show. So they're doing Christian and Wardlow at the pay-per-view. Christian confronted Wardlow at the beginning of the show because Wardlow called him out, and he was going to spit in Wardlow's face, and then Wardlow, surprise, gets attacked by Luchasaurus. Christian beats him up, brings out a ladder, does it's not the unprettier, it's kill switch, hits him with the kill switch on the ladder, and then it's announced that it's going to be Wardlow versus Christian for the TNT title in a ladder match. We'll talk about this next week, but do you give Christian the championship here? I would. But there's too much hot potato. There's too much hot potato with that belt now. So maybe you keep the belt on Wardlow here. We'll have to see. But y'all have to tell me that, because I don't know. But I'm excited. That's an awesome match to do. Throughout the night, you saw the Blackpool Combat Club attacking the Elite. They attacked the Young Bucks early, and then we'll see them again in the last segment, at the end. Sammy Guevara had a babyface turn. Wasn't expecting that. You know, he cut a very, very babyface-like promo after his match with Exodus Prime. And the crowd received him because this is his home state, and the crowd loved him. So, yeah, he was able to get a nice reaction. And then later on, he had a backstage segment with Darby Allin. And he's all like, look, I'm not the best person. I haven't been the best person, but we all agree that MJF needs to lose that title. And Darby fist bumped him. And then after Jungle Boy beat Roosh, Jungle Boy started getting attacked. Darby Allin came out to make the save, and then he started getting attacked. And then Sammy came out to save both of them. And the crowd was chanting, Sammy, Sammy, Sammy. So yeah, Sammy Guevara turned babyface. It looked like it. I love it. About time. Yeah, the fans were giving him and Ty such a hard time because they got together. I think it's being deliberately done now to keep them away from each other. I think the plan is to just keep Ty and Sammy separate. Sucks, but I guess that's what you gotta do. You know, having them on screen together just it garners heat, and it sucks that that's the case. But right now, Sammy, yeah, man, if Sammy's it's gonna be treated like a babyface, fine. Maybe you could tell a story where fans respect them more, where fans get behind them as a couple. But we'll see. We'll have to see. Yeah, how y'all feel about Sammy being a babyface? MJF did a promo with Renee Paquette backstage after seeing all this, and she asked him, "So you don't need to be pinned to lose that title on Sunday next week. How does that make you feel?" MJF turned around and smacked that microphone out of her hand and walked away. I was like, that douchebag. But that was so good. That was so good. That was awesome. I thought that was great. Tony Khan made an announcement. You already heard about this earlier because I said it. But Tony Khan made the announcement that, Collision is coming on June 17th. But he won't announce where the first date is going to be at. What city the first show is going to be at until next week. And again, that will probably coincide with CM Punk returning and probably the announcement of this new deal that they had to get out the way as well. I already talked about Switchblade. So the last thing to talk about is Don Callis. Don Callis, man. Don Callis turned on Kenny Omega last week. He was a scumbag. Kenny Omega was about to beat Jon Moxley in that steel cage. And then Don Callis, a father figure, a former father figure to Kenny Omega, came out and drove a freaking screwdriver through his skull. His skull. Right? So, this week, Don Callis was asked to come out and explain his actions. Callis makes his entrance with no music, has security around him, because of course, crowd is just booing him. They are pissed. They are showering him with heat, with hate. So Tony asked him why. Tony Schiavone asked him, why the f did you do that? And Don says everybody wants to hear him talk about why he did what he did to Kenny Omega. But instead, he's going to talk about what Kenny did to him. Make no mistake, there's only one victim in this scenario, and that's Don Callis. After everything he did for Kenny, helping him win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Omega and Jericho at the Dome. His first night here, Kenny won the AEW World Championship. And without him, there is no Kenny Omega. Didn't really explain why he did it. But he was like, it's his fault. Outlaws Kenny Omega. And he's trying to get through security. And he's blindsided by, of course, the Blackpool Combat Club. Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and of course, Bryan Danielson. They all blindside him. Then they get inside the ring. No Don Callis, by the way. No Don Callis. No Don Callis. That's going to lead to something. So, they all get inside the ring. Right? And then Kenny Omega stands up. It's just him against 4. And then the Young Bucks come out. And then they bring out some weapons. Everyone knows what's coming next. You hear the music. Dum da dum da dum da dum. Boom 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 boom. Something like that. I don't even know if that's the right tune. Regardless, Hangman Page's music hits and the crowd erupts. Erupts for Hangman Page. And he has an eye patch. Let me see if I can find the picture for that real quick. Yeah, homeboy had an eye patch, man. You're like, what? I think that's a good picture right there. Let me pull it up really quickly. Look at that. Look at that eye patch. Yeah, man. He came out. They gave him the barbed wire broom. They ran off the BCC. They got inside the ring. Hangman Page says, we are the heart and soul of AEW. We are the Elite. And next Sunday, it's gonna be the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Anarchy in the Arena. That doesn't have the same effect as War Games or Hell in a Cell. I don't know. I like it. Anarchy in the Arena. Close enough. I still like it. But that is huge. That's gonna be a fucking banger of a match. That might, nah, you can't. I don't know. I don't know what you main event the show with. No, the main event has to be for the World Championship. You gotta do MJF, and you gotta do Darby Allin, you gotta do Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara. That has to be the main event. But man, I don't know though. This match, Anarchy in the Arena, Hangman, the Elite versus the BCC. Ooh, and then when you think about the storyline implications of this, I can already tell you right now, Konosuke Takeshita will be involved, and I see him costing the Elite. I see it happening. And then we have to get Kota Ibushi involved at some point. Man, this could end up being one of the best storylines all year. I'm excited. I'm ready. My soul is ready. I'm ready, y'all. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready, Freddie. Are you ready, Freddie? I hope so. God, that's so cool. Man, I'm excited. I really am. I think this is going to shape up to be a great show. I'm not happy that this is taking them this long to get the card together, but we kind of know, we kind of have an idea what's going to be on the card, right? We already got, 5 matches. So we got the main event, which is MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and of course Sammy Guevara for the World Championship. So that's one. We got FTR. I'm going to talk about FTR and Jeff Jarrett. We forgot about them, didn't we? And that segment was great. We got the return of Karen Jarrett. Oh, OTR Central going to do a review on it. Can't wait. But Karen Jarrett came out with Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh, and they attacked FTR. That was a great brawl, though. That was pretty damn good. That was fun. But yeah, we're gonna get that match: FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Then we got Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm. Their match at Full Gear was one of the best female matches of that entire year, probably ever. Fantastic match. We're getting it again. Love it. Can't bitch about that. We just got Anarchy in the Arena. That's going to be a freaking banger. And then the ladder match. Christian Wardlow for the TNT title. That's 5 matches. Nope, I lied. 6 matches. Because then Orange Cassidy's doing a Blackjack Battle Royal for the AEW International Championship with 20 people, right? Damn! Oh, so that's replacing the Casino Battle Royale. So 20 people match for the International Championship. So that's 6 matches. I'm still waiting on Chris Jericho and Adam Cole. I'm still waiting on Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland. And I think we'll get a TBS. We're gonna get a Trio Championship match. The Acclaimed versus the House of Black. I don't know. We might throw in Jay Cargill versus who is Jay Cargill gonna fight? We might not need Jay Cargill for this pay-per-view. Huh. We'll find out. We'll have to find that out. Cause I don't even know. Does she fight Taya Valkyrie again? I don't know. I'm not watching Rampage, so you guys let me know. But yeah, this is crazy. I love it. That's 6 matches already, ready to go. So I do expect the tickets to start selling faster now, because we're getting closer to the event, and I think with a much more stronger card, those tickets are gonna pop off the market. So let me know how y'all feel about Double or Nothing right now. We will be back next Wednesday with our preview and predictions live here on YouTube to talk about that, and also to talk about CM Punk and Collision. But yo, that's my thoughts, man. That's my thoughts on everything we talked about. That was a lot. That was a lot. But hey, man, I said all I need to say. You guys can definitely have the floor. So what y'all think? How y'all feeling? Give me your thoughts, man. What y'all feeling like? What is y'all feeling like? Talk about CM Punk. Talk about Collision. Talk about Dynamite. Where's your heads at? Autistic. Y'all with these names. Autistic Weirdo says, Ace Steel has literally no value whatsoever. He does, though. He does. He has value for CM Punk. If you want CM Punk, you gotta have Ace Steel. Punk gives him value. Just saying. Oh, you got the reference. Lion King. I laugh in the face of danger. Ha 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 ha! Such a great reference. Oh, God. Wrestling Observer did too much again. Yeah. Again, I keep telling y'all. Punk doesn't start shit. But when you get him going, he doesn't stop until he eviscerates you. Always. Big MGM says Punk didn't say anything wrong. Oh, okay. Big MGM's like, hey, maybe I'm a CM Punk supporter. I'm just fucking with you. He's like, no, don't get carried away, Alyx. Calm down. I know Big MGM's like, yo, Alyx, hey, I like you, but don't get this backhand. He's fucking with you. David Robert Wood, I respect them. Who's them? Mercedes Moné is a bigger star than CM Punk. Is she? Is she though? I'm not saying she isn't. I'm just like, she could be. I'm not gonna say she's not. Who knows, man? Caleb Ward. Punk doesn't have to apologize to Alvarez or Meltzer. He sure the fuck does it. I'm just saying, like, he might need to have a sit down with them. Yeah, I mean, my reaction to that Instagram video was like, where's the lie? Where's the lie? And I mean, folks, where's the lie? Where's the lie? Let me know. Did you see AEW fans posted that Vince is underrating I for it was funny, and not quite sure what you tried to say there, son, but no. Tony Storm is underrated. She sure the fuck is. Both inside the ring and in other aspects. Sorry, what were we talking about? Stephen Brom. Not gonna lie, I'm ready for this Starks versus Jay feud to end. I don't know. I don't even think it's gotten off the ground yet. Honestly, having Cargill reluctantly join the mix with her gripe being not wanting to lose her streak would add another layer to the storyline that desperately needed. Well, Jay Cargill should probably be involved. Yeah, man. Not gonna lie, it's a conversation. I'd say Punk, but there's an argument. I think the brand split can work and the roster's bloated enough to work with 2 shows. But dang, the more that comes out about, the more I feel like it was a corporate call than anything. Yeah, it was a corporate call. I do believe, I think ultimately, that this was done to keep the people apart who don't get along. Just saying. Six matches, man. 6 matches for Double or Nothing. That's pretty dope. Now, if we can get Keith Lee, Swerve, Chris Jericho, Adam Cole, and the Trios Championship match on there, we set. We fucking set. I'm ready for it. Someone said, El Hijo del Vikingo versus Ricky Starks versus Roosh. Woo! Well, I'll take Vikingo versus Roosh all day. Roosh is the shit. For real, for real. Punk reminds me of Kim Possible because it's so not the drama. Really? Okay. Don't get that reference because I don't watch Kim Possible. I just know the theme song. Kim Possible. Kim Possible. Got me beat, man. If you want to reach, man. That's all I know. Bobby Fish made a huge mistake for leaving AEW. Now that rude. Oh. Roddy? We don't need Bobby. Baba who? Exactly. Not Baba Lashley. That other Baba who. Baba who? Exactly. Anyways. Look, guys, I love y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. But, yeah, please give me your thoughts down below about everything we talked about. Big podcast. So, from here, I guess next is, I'm not doing SmackDown or Raw. I might do SmackDown. Let me see how SmackDown shapes up. If SmackDown's a good show, I'll do a live stream. But Raw wasn't. So, that's why I didn't do a live stream on Raw. But if anything crazy happens this week, we'll come back up here. I don't mind just doing AEW streams and then just doing uploads and shorts for everything else. Because who cares? WWE is kind of on a decline right now. And we see it. You see it. I see it. We see it. And AEW is on the up and up. So we're back to AEW being the priority streaming again. And I love it. But over time, we'll see. Maybe AEW will start to mellow out. Will start to plateau. And WWE will get their shit together. Which I don't see happening. But time will tell. I will be here to talk about all of it. So, thank you all for joining me. As you file out, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo to help my brother out however you want. You guys are amazing. Be sure you're subscribing for more. And please take care of yourselves. In this climate nowadays, you just never know. Because this world is cray-cray. You hear me? But regardless of whatever you're watching me, whenever, always know you are welcomed right here in Alyx's world. The place that is, was, forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. Please have a good night, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.